Alright, welcome back, RZR Adventure fans. Today we are going to replace the brake line, front driver's side, on the old RZR here. Took a while to get the part in from Polaris because the dealers normally don't stock these parts. Part number, it is the front driver's side brake line, and like I showed you before, under here it's right at the bend right here. Now, as you can tell from the zip tie, this wasn't the factory route. These are the ORB replacement A-arms. We're probably going to try and reroute this to make sure we don't have this problem again. But we're going to get that changed today, get it bled out. What we need for brake fluid, Polaris has a brake fluid, but my parts guy said, hey, just get the Honda stuff. It's the same stuff and it's $3 or $4 cheaper. It's just a .4 brake fluid, special high performance formula. That's what he said I should go with, so who am I to argue with the seasoned parts guy? So
I'm thinking I know why it broke.
Yeah, why is that?
Probably got pinched in between here.
I think it's broke right here. So either way, we're gonna get it fixed and get it rerouted and see what happens. Let's get to work. Just in case you're wondering, that was a time jump. There was a big fiasco, and I'm going to explain it. Started off with the brake line you've seen and the part number that I bleeped out, because that is not the correct part number. The part number that I read to you that you didn't hear was for a 2011 to 2014 RZR 800 two-seater, and was not the correct part. The part you see out of the package here, part number 191226, was the brake line I got when I tried to reorder it, and they sent me the passenger side brake line. I asked for the driver's side, they sent me the passenger side. That's what the part number is. And today now I picked up part 1912259, which I believe with all my heart to be the front driver's side brake line, which is the one that we just discussed in the past. We need to replace. So, since the passenger side one had some cut up plastic on the outside, I'm guessing it's from my accident I had a while back. We're just going to go ahead and replace that too, since the banjo bolt looks like it's got to come out and both lines get disconnected. So, let's get to work. Okay, we're going to start out on the driver's side line. I'm going to clip that zip tie here. I found a wrench to fit this bolt here. This is the brake line coming out here, and we'll have to crack this open here in a minute. This, a 1/2 inch fits best. The 12 that I found fits worse. But differently, for the bolt up here, this bolt that goes in and holds both lines on, I'm assuming, like I said, is a banjo bolt, an 18mm is the best fit. So I've got a full set of wrenches here. It's not like I only have 2 or 3 wrenches to work with, so it's not like I'm just shooting in the dark. I'm not sure why that is the way it is, but I guess we'll just kind of work with it and see what happens. I'll let you know. Okay, just a little note as you go in here. See at the back side of that there's a connector. Right here. That's your brake pressure sensor switch. Just remember to disconnect that from the harness before you keep going. I did, but I figured I'd stop and point it out just to make sure everybody's still on the same page. Okay, I got that loose up top. I'm just gonna loosen this, get this all taken off now, because we're about ready to come out. Gonna get that loose, and I'm gonna run the new brake lines. So as soon as I disconnect them, I can reconnect them and get them driving here. Okay, the banjo bolt's just ready to come out here. Just make sure to take notes of the washers. I can see 3 washers right now between the master cylinder, the brake lines, and the pressure sensor switch. So make sure and grab all those. I'm going to cut back and hopefully I didn't drop any. Okay, I got the banjo tightened up. The lines run where they needed to run. This one we're going to try a little bit different because obviously I believe that's where my problem was. This is the way I routed it. It takes a 3/8, or I'm sorry, it's an 8mm wrench to crack the bleeder. I don't know why that was a 1/2 inch, but I guess we move on and learn. Cracked our bleeder here to let gravity do its work for a minute, and we're gonna go swap out the driver's side, or check out the passenger side. Kind of give you a view of that real quick. I already had this kind of loose. And just like that banjo bolt up top at the master cylinder, there's the rubber washers you need to get. It's kind of hard to hold the camera and do this with one hand, but this one didn't have any issues, so there's no reason we can't run it the exact same. Just remember you're working with aluminum here. These calipers are aluminum. So don't try and cross thread things, or these lines are a little rough because they're new. They haven't been relaxed. They've been in a circle their whole life. Try to keep it in the same type of orientation it was. Let's grab our 1/2 inch. And I can do this with one hand because these are not torqued very tight at all. So that's about perfect. And this is not an instructional video, this is for your information. So I'm not giving you torque specs because I am not a Polaris mechanic or anything of that nature. I'm just a guy working in his driveway showing you what I did. Okay, bleeder screws are cracked, lines are run. I'm going to go ahead and secure them down with some zip ties because like I've said before, if you're a RZR owner and don't have some zip ties, at least for now anyways, they'll work. So we'll come back here in a minute. Okay, we bled the brakes out. I had Laura and the RZR pushing down on the brake. Yeah, the bleeder screws cracked real easy. It was an easy process. A little tip though, work on the driver's side first. It's the shortest line and it's the one that's closest to the brake master cylinder. Get that bled out really well. Then go over to the passenger side and bleed that out really good, and then go back to the driver's side. It took a little bit more fluid than I thought to get all the air pushed through, even with these tiny skinny little lines. But it was worth it. We got a stiff brake pedal. It's going to be good enough to start it, and we'll probably check the brake fluid again and maybe even bleed them again if we have to. But for right now, brakes seem really firm and really good. I got up in and tested them. So yeah, that was a brake line change. Yes, I know the old brake lines are still there. I didn't cut the zip ties yet, but those will get taken care of. That's not something that needs a tutorial. Or I'm sorry, I don't need to explain. So for now, that's it for our RZR Adventures installs and repairs. We got a new toy coming in the mail tomorrow. Not sure if I'll do a quick video on it or not, but we will be doing an install on our new GPS system here shortly. So thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, make sure and subscribe and click the notification bell for all our upcoming videos.